Alright, so we're gonna watch the Snyder Cut. This review is gonna be a little bit different. What I'm gonna do is watch every hour and then kind of report back, or every part, or however this is divided. Gotta talk about each part, because it's 4 hours long. Alright, here we go. Alright, so first hour, we're done. First, we're done with the first hour, that's what I meant. And already, it's a much better movie, which you should be glad, you know? The fact that they went and, like, reshot most of it and all that shit. Yeah. I described it, to my buddy as, it's like, you know, you really messed up on, like, a test or a paper or something, your teacher gives you the opportunity to, like, to redo it, and you really hope they fix it, you know? You hope they don't come back with it worse. You know, like I've said, like, I've had my criticisms about, like, Zack Snyder and all that shit, but I wasn't hoping for this to fail. So far in this first hour, it's fine. It's a much better movie. Obviously, all the Joss Whedon stuff was cut out because that stuff was very jarring with, like, the color grading and how it was filmed, and also, you know, Henry Cavill being like this. So there wasn't that thing when the movie started where some kid is like, "Hey, Superman!" And he's just like, "So..." Just like, yo, that's wrong. Joss Whedon has said, like, that's like his formula of, like, make it serious, make it da-da-da, but also always throw in a laugh kind of stuff, you know? Which, I mean, it worked for the Avengers movie, but, like, something like DC, it doesn't really, like, work as well, you know? Sometimes you gotta just understand DC is just that dark and brooding. You gotta deal with it, you know? Oh, and, like, again, the editing stuff. So, the part where there's, like, the terrorist attack and, oh God, the cops are coming for me, the terrorist attack, and, you know, Diana kind of, like, saves the children, all that stuff, and then, you know, once the guy's about to, he, like, reloads and he's about to, like, shoot, and then she goes foomp, you know, and then, again, it's been this many years and I really only watched, like, Justice League, like, once. But I remember, like, when she went foomp like that, it just, like, whoom, you know, like, white light, next scene. And I remember being like, what happened? You know, I remember being like, okay, how did she save like, I know how she saved everyone, but I want to know, like, what's the aftermath? And I remember being, like, annoyed that it was just kind of like, anyway, oh my God, we gotta move on. But at least here, you see that, like, the windows blew out, and obviously the terrorist is dead, and she's just like, everyone, are you, unless this actually happened in the first one, but again, it's been that many years. Plus, I think at the time, I was, like, like 6 months into my recovery from surgery, so, you know, who fucking knows? Was it 6 months? Who knows? I just remember life changed a lot once this movie had come out. Yeah, so there's a lot of that. Again, none of the Joss Whedon shots. Parts that made me kind of, like, laugh was the fact that, like, during the terrorist scene, the door opens and then the music for Diana's ah, like, they just keep playing that. Every time she does something, ah, vocalizing, ah, you know. And then as she's fighting, and then I love that, again, fuck it, whatever about the first cut of it, but just, like, I remember in the first cut they would do the kind of Zack Snyder-y thing of going fast to slow-mo, but it was just kind of like, you don't know what you're doing. Well, this one, it was cut very more Zack Snyder, which was fast, 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 and then little bit of slow motion, and then fast, 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 you know, which made Diana look kind of silly, because the way how quick she was moving just reminded me of Fry in that episode of Futurama when he had, like, too much coffee. Like, but again, it was fine. But yeah, just every time she does something, ah, it's like... But then, yes, they bring back her theme, you know, the electric cello thing, which, great, I love it. I kind of know how to play it on violin. It's great. But it's just so funny. Like, every time she opens the door, like, Beyonce wind blows. Ah! Also, like, the music cues of, like, other songs, just, like, it reminds me of, like, not exactly, because in Suicide Squad, it was a little, like, whoa. Again, we're only 1 hour in. But I remember in, like, Suicide Squad, like, every scene, or, like, every 4 to 5 scenes, it would just be, like, a major, you know, like, song in pop culture, you know, and I'd just be like, okay. It's like, come on, man, give me, like, score or something, or like, oh, you got this song, maybe have it on the radio, like, that kind of stuff. But it was just like, let's put this song in, you know, and, like, little bits here and there of, like, slow motion, like Amy Adams visiting, like, the broken, you know, statue scene, and she's there with her, like, cup of coffee, just, like, walking in the rain, music playing, slow motion, slowly setting the cup down on the barricade, music playing, rain, slowly, and I understand the reason for that, you know, for, like, dramatic effect and rain pouring down slowly, and it's sad, and blah, blah, blah. I get it, I'm not mad at it, it's just kind of funny. You know, it's just kind of funny how, like, it just kind of, we're just like, oh, let's just sprinkle that slow motion over there. Just put slow motion over there. Okay, cool. All right, now we're gonna speed it up right here. Yeah, we're gonna speed it up right here. And then all of a sudden, Beyonce went and, just, but yeah, that was the first hour. Like, they've introduced everyone. They semi-introduced the Flash. Like, they showed the part of, like, long-haired Ezra Miller, like, at the 7-Eleven kind of thing, which, again, they did in the original one. They showed Cyborg, you know, because this is his dad, and this is his dad, dad. Again, I don't recall if it's that much different from the previous one, but the scene with the fight between, you know, Step Sandwich and the Amazonians and stuff like that, like, that seemed a little bit longer and a little bit more thought out, which in the initial one just seemed like the ladies were weak sauce, which was kind of like, yo, what the fuck you doing? Because it seemed like they were like, we got it, we've determined, you know, like, blah, 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 we can do this, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, I fell down. Like, that's what it felt like in the first one. This one, it was just like, okay, yes, they lost, but, like, they fought, like, holy shit, they fought kind of stuff. You know, like, Gandalf came with like, the army, but it was too late. You know, like what Gandalf did, you know, and they light the beacons of Gondor, you know, so they lit that. So, you know, we're on that point of the movie. And then Willem Dafoe? Willem Dafoe, okay, because I'm, like, watching the movie and you see Willem Dafoe's name, and I was like, oh, Willem Dafoe's in this one. Wait, was he in the other one? Because you forget. It's been so many years, I've only seen it once. I'm like, I don't fucking remember. I was like, was Willem Dafoe in the other one? Whatever. You're just kind of like, oh, he's probably just going to be like, you know, not like cameo character, but like, you know, like some dude. He's some dude. And then he's like there, you know, underwater with freaking Aquaman, and you're like, all right. I mean, Willem Dafoe does look like one of those, like, deep sea fishes, you know, the one with the light, the anglerfish, you know. I mean, you know, it's Willem Dafoe. I'm just like, sure, why not, you know. Again, so far, it's a much better movie. You know, you see the stuff that's been cut out, you see the little extra stuff they've put in. A lot of, like, the hammy, cheesy stuff is gone, you know. Again, it feels more DC, it feels more like, you know, like, serious and, like, dark and brooding, but, like, not like, alright, could you stop? I mean, to some people, this is probably already like, oh, could you stop? You know, the color grading is a lot better because it wasn't, like, all over the place. You can see what's going on. Again, who knows about what the third act is going to be, because, you know. But yeah, alright, let's get to the second hour. Alright, so, 2 hours down, and like, I started this off being like, oh, it's good. But it's like, we're 2 hours in. We know it's, I'm knocking everything. We know it's a 4-hour movie, but my God, like, I like that they've, you know, expanded upon Cyborg and the Flash's story and all that stuff, giving us a little bit more to them. But I also feel like, because this thing is fucking 4 hours long, and that's just, I've said it before, it's a ridiculous runtime. They could have taken all that establishing shit about Cyborg and how he's such a good kid, he was, like, helping out this lady, you know, like, throwing, like, it's like $100,000 or something into her bank account because she had like $11 left, which, I mean, that was me in college. I mean, $11 was a lot when I was in college. Anyway, so, like, him being such a good boy and all that stuff, I feel like they probably should have, like, put his, like, origin story, in a sense, like, in its own separate movie. And I know, like, DC is doing kind of like a little all over the place kind of thing, where we're like, we're gonna have Batman and Superman fight, and then we're gonna have the Justice League together, and then, then we had Aquaman's thing, and then blah blah blah, like, but I feel like they should have, like, just done something again separately, because like, to kind of throw in, like, to have an ensemble movie like this, and then to still do, like, an origin story, of one of the characters, it's kind of like, it slows it down. And Jesus Christ, speaking of slowing it down, more slow motion in this movie. Oh my god, so much more slow motion. Fucking hell. The slow motion part that I am okay with is whenever we talk about the Flash, because again, he's moving so fast that everything is slow. I get that. Although him, like, just like, like, touching that girl's face while she's, like, in a car accident, it was kind of like, alright, bro, you're being a little creepy right now. Yeah, just, there's that, and oh my god, like, because like I said, I'm 2 hours in, so we're at the part where they're step and sandwich. I keep saying step and sandwich, trying to say step and sandwich. Anyway, his fucking ass has captured Cyborg's dad. And they're fighting and all that stuff, and then fucking Wonder Woman shows up, and it's like, again. The music hit, I was like, I'm stop. Shield and sword. Like, fuck. And it's like, just cue her theme song, you don't need to do the vocalization of the theme song, It's just like, fuck, man, like, Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, just, I feel like the added stuff for the Flash and Cyborg probably should have been its own separate thing. Like, maybe if it wasn't like a full-length feature, because of course, like, well, I know now there's HBO Max, but when there was, like, when DC had its own, streaming service, when it was just that, they should have just, like, put something out like that, probably something like 45 minutes, a 20-minute thing, like, something just to kind of, like, introduce you to them. Again, DC is kind of, like, shooting itself in the foot by kind of doing this with the storyline of, like, here, blah, we're gonna do all the together stuff first, then do the individual stuff, which I get if you just do you, boo, but, like, like, I know these characters, so for me, I'm like, alright, whatever, just, it's not like a, oh, okay, but I get it, for, like, you want to drive in the audience who doesn't know about said character. They don't know who Cyborg is. They're just like, okay, like, some of them might just know Cyborg from, like, fucking Teen Titans or Teen Titans Go, of all things, so they don't know, like, super tragic story that he has. He's just the booyah guy, like, it's just, God, why it's 4 hours fucking long, and, or if they wanted to do all this, they probably should have done, like a two-parter kind of thing, like a Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, an Infinity War Endgame kind of thing, where your first movie is the establishing movie, which that's pretty much what we got here, which was, like, these first 2 hours were the establishing shit of, like, Bruce Wayne is going to, like, find everyone and being like, hey, would you be part of my team? I got money, so want to be my friend? That kind of stuff. And then have a second movie where it's the battle or something, although it might just come off just like the Twilight movies, where the first movie is just the fucking wedding, and the second movie is a battle that was all inside, when it was all fake. God! Fucking kill me with that. Yeah, I don't know, man, it's just, and also, like, I said this, when the trailer dropped, I don't like this aspect ratio, I don't like the square format. it works with like certain type of movies that you are just gonna keep with that kind of format and all that stuff. But like something like this, especially like something actiony and all that stuff, it's so claustrophobic, you know, just to be like this much. And whenever things happen, it's just like, you know what I mean? It's like they're fighting within like, well, it's obviously a square, but like they're fighting within the small thing. But like just bro, just pull it out. Like we don't need the, you know, like the joke I always make about, we don't need the like the Lawrence of Arabia kind of the Family Guy thing where it's just like a thin line. You know, we don't need like crazy, you know, like aspect ratio where it's like this, but like come on, man, like you know, go just, you know, just go a little bit. Just go a little bit. Bro, just a little bit, you know, just so like you can also see the expanse of things. Like whenever they have like the wide, oh, the word wild was trying to come out, so it was like rah, the wide field shot of like the armies and stuff. It's like it doesn't feel as vast, you know. It's just kind of like, here we are, bro, like we're just here, you know. Yeah, it's just, again, it's still better than the first initial cut, but I'm still kind of like, you know, like the film nerd in me is like the runtime, and then it's like the aspect ratio. Again, like I'm glad that they fleshed out Cyborg more, but again, I feel like we're having to kind of like pause the full story of Justice League coming together and fighting the evil to just be like, oh, so anyway, so now he's a little bit more central to the story, whereas before he was on the back burner. So anyway, let's talk about him a little bit more. Which again, fine if you didn't know about Cyborg. I'm just repeating myself now, just like this movie. But yeah, it's just, I got 2 more hours, so let's see. Let's see. Who fucking knows? Let's, you know, just the flirty stuff between Batman and Wonder Woman. It's like a little bit more human and less like, wow, this is awkward cringe. Because before it was like, oh my god, you know. Now it's just like, oh, sorry, both reach for the mouse together. Oh, sorry, things happen. All right, and then they end it. You know, there's none of that like, oh my god, no. You know, like, we'll see. You know, maybe if Batman, you know, falls down and goes, oh, well, okay, I guess that, you know, and if like Wonder Woman's ass goes into like freaking Aquaman's face again or some shit like that. I don't know. Anyway, we got 2 more hours. Let's see. It's enough. So hour 3 is done, and first of all, Martian Manhunter, bitch, what? I was like, I literally was like, oh my god, like that was like the only time I really had like a reaction to this movie. I was like, oh my god, Martian Manhunter, which done a lot better than like I never really watched the CW shows, but like I did watch that like 5 episode Crisis on Infinite Earths, and I didn't know till like the last 2 episodes that they had Martian Manhunter there the entire time. Because it was just like this older black guy, you know, like he was like the chaperone to all these like young people, and it's like they kept calling him John, and I didn't connect the two until like the very end when he had the suit on, and I was like, oh, all right. Anyway, Martian Manhunter, that's one thing I'm just like, that's pretty cool. That's making me happy. So Superman is alive. You know, that scene plays out exactly how it did before, minus the thing where like Batman gets like hit and he falls down and he's like, oh, that's gonna leave a mark, like weird side comments, and I was like, Batman's got like a dry humor. He's not the, oh god, Flavin, like kind of guy, you know? It was just like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, so Superman's alive. Also, who the fuck keeps a pregnancy test on like their, like, what's that called? Like their side table drawer thing? Don't you keep that like in the bathroom? You know, because you gotta pee on it. Like, you keep condoms in the side table thing. You don't keep the pregnancy test. That was just so funny. She, like, pulls out the drawer, and she's got, like, her press pass. Lois Lane's got her press pass, and then it's just, like, pregnancy, like, a box of pregnancy testises. And I'm just, like... And the camera, like, lingers on there, too, and I'm just, like... Are you trying to tell me something, movie? you know. um, Other than that, stuff is playing out like it was before, of course. Cyborg's dad dies because, once the Terminator's gone to you, like, you're just, there's no way out, man. Terminator gets to you, Steppin' Sandwiches gets to you, all that stuff. 3 hours, man. I got an hour left. I heard there's like an after credits sequence or something. I mean, really, who's surprised? Especially in this day and age, you just scrub through the credits. At least you don't have to sit through the credits. Yeah, it's just 3 hours. 3 hours. And I've taken breaks in between, so like this doesn't seem so like arduous and like ugh and all that stuff. But still, man, if this was like released in theaters, I mean, it probably is technically in theaters right now, but you get what I mean. Like, if this was, like, the regular shit, fuck, man, I don't know if you can have me in theaters for 4 hours just sitting there watching this. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you can't. What else is there? Just, like I said, the separation thing of, like, just having Cyborg's story on its own thing, because I feel like, again, whenever they have to, like, bring in more, like, stuff about Cyborg, it does slow the movie down. And again, there's enough slow motion happening. There's enough 3 hours. There's enough, music cues hitting you in the face. There's enough, like, comic relief from, I was just gonna say Ezra Miller. I mean, it is Ezra Miller, but from The Flash, and it's just, again, because, I'm at the point now where I'm like, oh, right, I'm remembering the movie again, kind of stuff. It's just like, I'm just watching the same movie again, but longer. So, and at a different aspect ratio. But again, I can still see things, it's not as dark. Yeah, I feel like, they've improved it by, again, not having Batman as with a comic relief thing, and having Batman just kind of be Batman. That was one thing I was really annoyed, was that, like, initially Batman had, like, his jokes, but like I said, Batman has a more drier humor and not that kind of flavin thing. Wonder Woman, she's there, she's doing fine. Aquaman, he's, doing his thing. He was definitely a lot more bro-y in the initial cut. I remember he was definitely a lot more bro-y. I mean, Jason Momoa himself is very bro-y, but you get what I mean. Like, it's just for the character itself. Yeah, so now Superman's alive, they're on the farm, and, he's touching plants. He's going out and touching grass, Go outside, touch some fucking grass, He's going out there and chilling, and then I guess we're just gonna get to the final actual climax of the fucking movie, where the big battle happens, and then we'll see. Fuck. Like I said, this is better, but, Alright, one more hour. One more hour. Hour 4, technically the shortest hour, because there was credits and stuff. I'm exhausted. So this final part, it's the battle, we've all seen it. The upside is that there wasn't so much of, like, that red, orange tint thing that was going on. There was those colors, but that was, like, the shit that was being fired by the bad guys and all that shit, but it wasn't, like, the entire color palette for that scene. Superman's got the black suit. Cool. Burping. Nope, okay, went away. Oh, there it is. Having Batman have one of those, like, oh, I woke up, it was all a dream. Because I was really confused. I was like, what is going on? Because it's like, Batman's back in his, like, I guess you would call it his Desert Storm outfit, because he had that in, Batman v Superman. And all of a sudden he's like, it's clear, and then, like, Cyborg's there, Mira's there, which I love that in this movie, Mira her hair is like ginger, whereas in the Aquaman movie it was like red, you know. Anyway, it mirrors there, and then like Flash is there with his like Iron Man helmet. It's like it's midnight, dude. Like I started this at like 8. um, the oh yeah, and then Slade is there on his side, you know, and then the Joker's there because I mean the upside is that he doesn't have those like face tattoos. The downside, it's still fucking Jared Leto, you know. Um, Gave him way too much dialogue. That was just nah. I feel like they probably shouldn't have put that in the trailer. You know, I feel like that should have been a surprise. To been like, oh shit, Jared Leto's back. I think I probably would have been like, oh okay, cool. But seeing that in the trailer, I was like, oh no, don't do that. Okay, fine. It was like a dream sequence, but ugh, you know. Oh, and the after credit sequence that was in the original cut, where um, Lex Luthor, you know, meets up with Slade. That's like, you know, the epilogue kind of shit going on. There was no after credits in this one. I was scrubbing through the credits, and oh my god, the woman that they have singing Hallelujah, I was just like, Jesus Christ, I felt like I was back in the theater watching Cats with freaking Jennifer Hudson. She's like, Hallelujah! Like, oh my god. I mean, I would actually sing it, but again, it's midnight and my mother is sleeping, so I don't want to be a rude piece of shit. Um, but yeah, but she was seriously like, I'm like scrubbing through. I'm like, wait, hold on. Like, I'm like, it's almost 4 hours and 2 minutes. Like, I don't think there's gonna be an after credit sequence. Scrub through, hallelujah. I'm like, oh my fucking titty fuck. Oh, and then of course during the final battle thing, there's the more of the music stinger for you know for Wonder Woman, because why not? You know, just why not? But anyway, yeah, so Batman wakes up from his dream. Because I was also confused, like, during that dream sequence. One, I was like, this is weird. And definitely, duh, it's obvious it's a reshoot. But you're like, what is this doing? The fact that, like, Mirror is like, oh, I'm going to, you know, this is my revenge for what they did to Arthur. And I'm kind of like, what do you mean? He said, you know, he's gonna go, like, you know, chill and like see his dad or some shit, right? Like, did I miss something? And then it was like Lois Lane is dead. And I was like, huh? But then when the Joker was like, how many alternate universe, which I love, that's his voice. How many alternate universes? And I was like, oh, God, here we go. But yeah, I love that he wakes up and he's in this like lakeside home, but it's like super modern thing instead of like a cabin in the woods. It's like it's all made of glass, modern kind of thing. And then Martian Manhunter shows up, and I love how he's just like, but it's Bruce Wayne. So I love how he just sees him and he goes, "What's up?" Martian Manhunter is like, I'm Martian Manhunter. At least my design is better than the CW one, where at no point do I turn green, and then my suit is forest green. Okay, CW. I'm I know the only reason people watch the CW stuff is because they're a bunch of pretty people. But, like, that doesn't entice me because I'm also, like, 10 years older than most of these people on those shows, you know? It's like, I'm like, ugh, they're children, you know? That's why I thought he was the fucking chaperone the entire time watching fucking Crisis on Infinite Earths. I'm like, who's this older guy? Is that the chaperone to the Flash? I'm really confused on what's going on. Um, anyway, about the movie. But yeah, Martian Manhunter. So I'm like, okay. I don't know if they're still gonna do like a solo Batman movie. I mean, with Ben Affleck's Batman, because we do have. I don't think they're gonna do it because after I just said that, I'm like, we're having Robert Pattinson's Batman as year one Batman. Girl, I'm tired. Yeah, and then I don't know. I heard that they're probably not gonna do a Cyborg movie because the actor who plays Cyborg has come out about like the allegations and stuff. I don't know if they're gonna do a flat. I think they've been talking about doing Flashpoint, which is interesting. I do like that storyline. You know, I do like that idea. I don't know, because still no one knows if Ezra Miller really choked that girl, quote unquote, as a joke. Like, you see the video and you're like, oh, he choked someone. But then it's like some people are saying like, no, she asked for that for the video and then freaked out, and no, he really just spazzed on someone. I don't know, son. Like, you know, like Amber Heard's still getting work. You know, like, wow, DC really knows how to hire these people. Um, but yeah, so that was the Snyder cut. I watched it. You guys can stop asking now. It's better than the original cut. I still don't like it. You know, I don't hate it. It's just like fine. You know, especially like when comparing it to the original cut. It's like cool, you fixed it. But it's like, you know, you go from like an F to like a C. You know, it really didn't need to be this long. You know, like the whole thing about it initially being like a mini series thing, but then they're like, no, we're gonna do full 4 hours. I don't know, man. Like they should have had like, I guess I know I'm just repeating myself. Repeatus myself. Time to go to bed. I know I'm repeating myself, but like the added cyborg stuff is good. It just like slowed down the movie again even more. Even though the movie had a lot of slow motion to it, for fuck's sakes. It just didn't need didn't need that. The music score, it was just like it was improved, but it also was like. But anyway, yeah. So that was the Snyder cut, guys. Like, I don't know. For the people who got their Snyder cut and they're happy, I'm happy for you. You know, you wanted it, you got it, you're happy, cool. For someone who doesn't care for the Snyder cut, never asked for it, I like the improvements, but, you know, fine. 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 It's like, you know, I should end the review, but it's like, you know, I had to sit through Wonder Woman 1984, and then that wasn't good, and then this isn't good. It's like DC, you know, I'm just like, I'm just gonna just wait for Pattinson's Batman. Just, come on, Robert Pattinson, don't fail me now. You've redeemed yourself. Me 10 years ago would have been like, ugh, Robert Pattinson, fuck that guy, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm like, this guy's great. I enjoy him. Anyway, we're done. I'm tired. I don't want to do this ever again.